Hi, this is Jill from Humu Yoga, and this is the full yoga practice. And this week we're focusing on the theme of strength. And every week I choose a different theme that I weave into the various classes to help us find some inspiration and even some perspective and to better guide us. So we're going to go ahead and start with the centering, and then I'm going to recite the inspirational quotes on strength. And then we're going to make our way up to standing, where we will start a full practice today, where we will integrate that inner strength and outer strength. So let's go ahead and get started. Just taking your hands down by your sides, begin to notice, can you connect to Mula Bandha, or pelvic floor? So feel an engagement of all those muscles you're sitting on. And Mula means root, Bandha, lock. So you're engaged in Mula Bandha, and then above that, below the belly button, draw the belly back and feel that sense of energy lifting upward. So that's called Uddiyana, which means flying upward, Bandha, or lock. So now we have the Mula, the root, the Uddiyana, the lifting up, and then at the top of the spine, just drop the chin down. We call that Jalandhara Bandha, or chin lock, and we seal in the energy. So now that we're fully supported with the bandhas from the inside, we can release the hands and just take a moment to focus on your breath. So as you inhale, you can visualize how the rib cage, and you can feel it too, it expands. And then as you exhale, you can visualize and feel how the rib cage draws closer together. And just notice, do you have any restrictions on your inhalations? And then exhale. And let's do one more of these conscious breaths as you inhale, filling up, and exhale, feel the rib cage relax. Now take the hands together in prayer position. We'll vibrate an Om, and then I'll recite the quotes. Taking a breath in. The nearer a man comes to a calm mind, the closer he is to strength. Strength and growth come only through continuous effort and struggle. The struggle you're in today is developing the strength you need tomorrow. Nothing is so strong as gentleness. Nothing so gentle as real strength. With a new day comes new strength and new thoughts. Strength. So I think it's really important to connect to that inner strength as we go through this yoga practice, which can be quite vigorous, the full practice, so that we know just how much outer strength we really need to exert to get the most out of the practice. So let's go ahead and start. So we'll make our way over to all fours, and we'll just start to slowly move the spine. So let's go ahead and exhale. Pull the belly in using those bandhas, right? The Uddiyana, you feel a nice lift up. And then inhale, come forward, and you can arch the back. So now we're working the back muscles. We're strengthening the back and opening the front. And now we're pulling in, and we're strengthening the front by really pulling in those muscles to really lengthen the back. And let's just do one today. So from here, let's just make our way to downward facing dog. And then just notice what's going on in your spine here. If your shoulders are coming forward, I want you to really bend the knees and try and get length in your back. And try to take your chest closer to your legs. Don't worry if your heels are lifted. Just try to slowly reach them down. And just feel the engagement in the back muscles, the engagement in the back of the legs, the shoulders, and just tune into your breath, the inhaling and the exhaling. You could bend a couple times, just opening up. And then let's make the way up to the front. So take your time here. I'm really pushing with my hands, finding that little muscular energy in the shoulders and the arms, and making my way all the way up. My feet are going to stay hip width just for this first one. And maybe you want to hang here for a moment. And let's slowly curl up. So you're stacking the spine one vertebra at a time. pulling the belly in to support the back. Slowly, the shoulders arrive, and then the head is the last to come up. Take a moment and pause and just notice where you're at in your inner strength. Where are you? What's going on? And then we'll step everything together in Samasthiti, standing still and straight and ready to start this full practice. But before we do, I just want to mention that I always have on hand 2 blocks and just a little towel, a yoga towel or a belt or even a strap, exercise band would do, but it's not necessary. Inhale and exhale. And let's go ahead and start Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, fold. Feel how your belly lifts when you fold. Inhale, look up and lengthen. And then let's take this back to a plank. This plank is important. So notice, is your butt up? Can you draw the tail under? Are you sinking? Can you lift up? I like to take my knees down and try to maintain that spine because it's easier for me to find a nice push-up where I don't lose the alignment. But you're welcome to keep your legs straight if the push-up works for you. And we come up, and then we come through to upward facing dog here. I'm trying to get the most out of every movement. So draw the tail down, lift the sternum, chin is back, but then it starts to rise up a little. I'm gazing down the chin. The nose, not the chin. And then let's take this back to downward facing dog. And breathe here. Inhale. And exhale. It's okay to bend and straighten your legs a couple times if you need to. The shoulders are elevated, but they're rolling away from my ears. And breathe. Inhale. And exhale. Let's slowly start to make our way up. So push down with your hands to get the most out of this and come all the way up. And then from here, inhale, lengthen your spine and reach. Use your legs. Now you're reaching the arms. And then exhale, hands down. Let's do another Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, reach. And exhale, fold. Inhale here, look up and lengthen, engaging your legs. And let's take it back. Now find that plank. Tail is under, ribs are in, shoulders are down and wide. Maybe you can stay in that plank and lower down. I'm gonna take my knees down to see if I can keep that alignment as I lower and rise. You feel the strength of the upper body. Inhale, come forward. Now you feel the strength of the back body as the shoulders draw down. You lift the sternum, gazing down the nose. You can take the head back. And slowly coming into downward facing dog. And just breathe here. Inhale, really reaching. Exhale, reaching through the arms. And then take a moment to really reach through the legs. And breathe. Just find that balance. It should feel good, not overwhelming. One more breath. And start to come up to the front, pushing down, lifting up, and fold. And then inhale, lengthen, and rise. And exhale, hands down. Now we're going to come into Surya Namaskar B. This is where I'm going to use the blocks to help me get more height and more lift, which will give me a sense of lightness. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. And I'm going to lift my heels here and I'm going to float back. So keeping the shoulders over your hands, lift up, put the feet back. The blocks really helped me to find lightness there. Now, you could keep your legs straight here or lower and start to lower down, but keep that body line, no sagging. Keep the tail under, shoulders down and wide. Now notice, do you feel your upper body as you push up into that push-up and then come forward? Now I feel the back body working as I lift the sternum and exhale. I rolled over the toes this time because I had the blocks helped with that. Let's go ahead and reach your right leg. Notice, did you
take all your weight over to the left. Just lift the leg straight behind you and keep some energy in that leg. And then lift the knee up high and put the foot down. And now we're going to come into a high lunge to prepare us for warrior one. So just the high lunge first. So keep your gaze straight ahead. Take your tail under on this left side, pulling the right butt back. Just lower down as much as you can. Pause, and then come back up. Now keep your front knee bent and try your best to straighten your back leg, tail under, and then lift the sternum up and take it back. Lift up to go back. Keep reaching. Up to go back. Up to go back. And then inhale, rising up. Use your legs a lot. Reach and take the hands down, stepping back. And then we're going to lower again. Feel those muscles in the arms, in your chest as you push up. Come forward. Now we're stretching the chest, working the back here. Inhale, lifting up, and take it back. And we'll do the other side. So lift the left leg. Try not to twist your body. Try to stay straight here, pressing evenly through both hands. And then lift up to step the foot up. We'll rise into the high lunge, gazing straight ahead, down the nose, tail under on that right side, pull the left butt back, lower as much as you can, and then start to rise, but now stay bent in the front leg, try to straighten your back leg, keeping the tail under. You should feel a nice hip flexor stretch on that right side. Lift up, so lots of energy in the legs, so now you can back bend, lifting up, lifting up, lifting up. And now we rise up, reach forward, take the hands down, step back, find that push-up. Lowering, use that upper body, push, and then come forward. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, downward facing dog. And stay here and breathe. Inhale and exhale. This is a resting point, but yet it's still enough work. There's still strengthening going on, but just make it enough that it's really serving you to open things up and yet you feel supported. And now find a gaze point if you want to lightly hop up and just feel the lift. So the shoulders are going to come over the hands and you're going to lift the hips up and put them down. And the blocks really help with that. Fold. And bend the knees, reach the arms, and come to stand. Let's do one more Surya Namaskar B with Warrior One this time. So bend the knees. I'm not going to use the blocks now. I want to see if I can recreate that height. And exhale, fold. But it's fine if you want to keep using them. And let's go back, push down, and find that plank. And let's lower. Belly in, tail under, and rise. And then come forward, opening the sternum, tail under, and take it back. And now we're just going to step into Warrior One. So go ahead, lift up, step up. Back foot comes down, lifting, drawing the right butt back and the left tail under, lift up, just like we did in the lunge. And now starting to come forward, taking the hands down, and we'll come into the push-up as you lower, rise, and come through. Big breath in at the top, inhale, and exhale, other side. So now we're gonna step the left foot forward, big breath in, back foot down, reach the arms. Tail under on that right side, pulling the left butt back and lifting up. And then coming forward, reaching, taking the hands down. Step back, find that plank, and then lower. Feel that upper body. And push, and come through. Big breath in, lifting the sternum, tail under, and downward facing dog. And let's just breathe here. Inhale. And exhale. Noticing, are you more open now? I can really feel that my calves have opened up a bit. Feels nice. Breathe. You can either step up or find that gaze point, pushing down with your hands, lifting the hips and putting the feet down. And then bend the knees and come to stand. And then let's take the hands on the waist and take your feet out hip width. We're going to come into a forward bend, Uttanasana, but I want you to see if you can keep your spine really long and neutral. So engaging the legs, just pay attention to that for a moment. Does your butt go back or under? Can you keep it really straight? Engage in bandhas. Hands come on the waist. You can feel where your hips hinge right in the front, right here. And take it to that place and hold. And see if you can straighten your legs. And then inhale, rise up. And then we're going to do that again. Go down and hold. Hold and breathe. Engaging the legs. The front of the legs are engaged, so the back is stretching. Come up. And then on the next one, we're going to go all the way down. So first, extending. And then take a moment. You can grab the back of your legs and then see if you can take this crease deep. And use the legs. You're really activating the front of the legs. Just stretch the back. Breathe. Shoulders away from your ears. Keep breathing. And then inhale, lengthen. This time, take the hands out to the side. Coming all the way up. And we take everything down to Samasatihi. And now let's start the standing poses. So I'm going to use blocks here. Put one in the front and one in the back. And we'll go ahead and step out. So let's turn the back foot in. You feel the hip internally rotate in the back. Turn the right foot out. There's external rotation. And then just bend the front knee. And staying straight up, just take your gaze gently over your right fingertips as you breathe. Inhale. You can feel the muscular energy, just enough in the legs, the external rotation in that front leg. Breathing. Inhale and exhale. And then from here, we're going to come into Utthita Parshvakonasana, extended side angle. So let's go ahead and circle this top arm, reach. You could stay here, or if you wanted to use your prop, you could come here. Trying to open that front knee. And there's strength in this pose, so there's no hanging. You're feeling that right butt pull back and the right knee open, and you're turning the right ribs. And then inhale here. Let's go ahead and just straighten the leg. And then maybe you need to move the block back for Trikonasana, so your hand is under your armpit. And then feel the work in the legs. That right butt is pulling back. And then inhale here. Let's get a side body stretch here. Reach. You could take your gaze up maybe. Feel that left side body. Maybe you want a little bit more work. Reach and rise up. And now we're going to transition to the other side. Right foot in, left foot out. Just take a moment. Warrior two. Coming straight down. Lifting the belly. Not leaning forward, right? You're straight up. Just gazing, just enough energy. There's external rotation here. There's a little bit of internal rotation and a little bit of external rotation. Feel that. Breathe. Utthita Parshvakonasana. Reaching the arm. And just take a moment here. Come to where you feel supported and not sinky, right? And turn the left ribs. Breathe. Keep breathing. Nice side body. Inhale here. We're going to come into Trikonasana. So you move your block back a little bit. Keep pulling the left butt back and reach up. Turning. I'm light on my hand here. This left hand. And then I'm going to reach this arm. And then, now I'm really light on the hand. Not using it at all. And inhale, rise up. You immediately feel your obliques. It's kind of nice. So let's come to Prasarita Padottanasana. Spread out forward bend. So hands on your waist. Again, hinging from your hips. Come forward. Pause for a moment. Maybe take your hands here. Look up and see how long you can get here with straight legs. Then let's slowly take the head down. So you could use a block if your head didn't make it to the floor. Shoulders away from your ears. Really straightening your legs as best you can. Keep breathing. Maybe you can get your hips a little more forward. Inhale here, look up and lengthen. Hands on the waist and rise up. Let's go ahead and come into goddess pose. So turning out, let's take the hands this way today. So here, sink down, pause for a moment and come up. We'll do that again. Going down slowly. Make sure you're not sticking your butt out too far, right? Coming down and you're opening the knees and rise up. And we're trying not to lean forward. On the next one, we're gonna hold. So stay here, just lift the sternum, breathing, lifting, just noticing what's going on. Can you sink a little lower? Notice how the voice is getting higher, but just stay in it and inhale. Just enough though. So let's go ahead and turn to the right. We're gonna come into a version of Parsvottanasana and then Utthita Trikonasana. So we'll take the hands behind the head. Inhale here, lift the sternum. You're trying to pull that right butt back and the left hip forward so you're nice and even. Inhale here, lifting the sternum. Exhale, coming forward. Notice you're gonna feel your legs coming forward. Pause, and then inhale, rise up. Really using those legs. Inhale, exhale, go over. Pause, and rise up. On the next one, we'll go all the way down. So inhale here, exhale, go over. Pause for a moment, and then see if you can fold deeper into that hip as you take your head down. Breathing, inhaling and exhaling. Breathing. And then inhale and rise up. And now by going deep into that forward bend, it'll make Parivrtta Trikonasana a little bit more accessible. So the legs are the same, the hips are the same, reaching forward, but we add a twist. And take your hand down to the block outside of your right ankle or on your shin, right? And keep the hips even. As you start to really turn, you can use the energy in these left serratus ribs as you turn, keeping the spine lengthening as you do that. The legs feel really strong, and that's how you keep your balance. Inhale and rise up. Let's go to the other side. So turning the right foot in and turning the left foot straight ahead. Let's take the hands behind the head. Inhale, lifting the sternum, and exhale, trying to keep those hips even as you come forward. Keep your legs straight and rise up. And keep your back lengthened. So we don't want to round the back in this one. Come forward, hold, and come up. And then on the next one, we'll go all the way, come down, hold for a moment, and then see if you can come all the way down. Breathing here, inhaling, exhaling, just allowing your body to find the length. And then inhale, halfway up, and come all the way up. And now we're gonna come into Parivrtta Trikonasana. So the hips stay the same. Right arm up, keep the length, but we're gonna add a twist. So turn the right serratus muscles to the left or the right ribs, keeping the hips the same if you can. If it works in your body, you could look up, breathing, turning, but your spine is still lengthening. And then inhale here, and we'll rise up. And then we'll come to stand, Samasthiti. So with this theme of internal strength, balancing out your external strength, let's do Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana and use the wall so that you can go deep
It's a really nice way to explore that. Actually, I'll start this way. So with your hand on the wall, let your right leg come up. Just notice where that is. Then you can grab the toe and extend to where you can. So if you don't use the wall and you're down here, maybe by using the wall, you can get up here. And maybe you could add a forward bend to this. Really breathe here. Inhale and exhale. And then inhale, rise up. Now let's open this out to the side. Maybe you can go a little higher. Breathing. You can even test by not using the wall here and there. And then bring it back. And then a forward bend one more time. And then see if you can just hold that leg out there. Hold it out there. Breathing. Maybe use the wall. And lower down. Now we'll do the other side. So go ahead and let the left leg come up. We're going to grab the toe and let the leg come out. And then see if you can forward bend. Fold. Maybe you're not using the wall, but it's always there. Shoulder down. Lift up. And then open. Use the wall maybe, so you can get higher and straighter and just feel that sense of lift. And then let's go ahead and bring it back. Fold in again. Rising up. And then let's go ahead and release. Right? How does that feel? And let it come down. Good. And now we're going to, we're actually going to make our way over to the wall, where we're going to try and find our inner strength and the balance of our outer strength in an incline handstand wall drill. So I'll see you at the wall. Okay, so now we made it over to the wall, and I'm going to teach a pose that's going to help us talk about the alignment in the handstand, and that's just the wall drill. So we'll just turn around and try and have your hands right at your shoulder level as you push forward, and you want to be making this L shape. And you notice I'm not sagging and I'm not rounding. So there is a hamstring stretch for some people if your hamstrings are tight, just doing this. But if you also notice, I'm elevating my shoulders, I'm really pushing, and then I'm rolling them away from my ears. And then from there, I'm really pulling my belly in, and I'm not tucking my butt under and I'm not sticking it out. It's nice and neutral, and the ribs are pulled in. And then I just try and find breath here, breathing into my back body. And then from here, we're just gonna go ahead and come up. And that's the shape we're gonna want to have when we do the pose. So from here, we're going to go ahead and turn, and where your feet are, your hands are going to go a little forward of that because we're doing the incline plank here. So we'll step back into a down dog, and you can adjust your hands as necessary. And the incline plank, we're just going to walk up the wall and make the shape of an incline, which makes it a little easier on the shoulders if your shoulders are tight than just the L shape or even the straight handstand. So we reach one leg up, and trying to avoid letting the shoulders go forward, see if you can reach the other leg up. So you don't want your shoulders doing that. You want to push this way. Pull the belly in and tail under. So you're not sinking and you're not sticking out here. And then everything's engaged. Inner strength, outer strength. Shoulders are rolling away from your ears. Keep your belly in. And to come down, we keep it really light. Maybe you could just step down, or maybe you walk down, but try not to let your shoulders come forward. Very light, and then we come up. And go ahead and give that one a go. Or if you felt pretty secure there and you want to try the L shape, we'll take that measurement again. It's right here, pushing. Just kind of turn, put your hands where your feet are, and you can always adjust if it doesn't feel right, but we're going for that more L shape, or you're doing the incline plank again. And we walk up. And now my shoulders have to be right over my hands. And that's a hard position for some. Keeping the tail under, pushing through the legs. And then slowly, with this one, you could walk down. Maybe you walk down. And just play. The incline plank, though, is super beneficial if the shoulders are too tight in that L shape.
So do what feels good in your body. And let's come down to a nice squat. So since the wall's here, we'll use the wall. So just take your feet a little wide, whatever feels good. I like them almost mat width, and I like to be turned out. I'm gonna use the wall for guidance to come down into a squat. Feels nice to have the support and open the knees and just go somewhere where it feels good in your body. Feeling the knees opening out, external rotation from your hips, and just pause. Notice how you feel. And we'll take a moment and come down to the floor. So you could use your hands there. And then Dandasana, and just sit up. Now we're gonna move forward and just find some release. So from here, sit way up, engaging your legs, take a breath in, and if you needed to, you could use a prop. Sometimes that's nice to get length in your back, like we did in those forward bends, and lengthen, really using the legs, and then folding forward. And breathing here, inhale and exhale. Keep breathing. So do whatever feels good in your body. Some of you might be able to go a little deeper. Been doing some nice forward bends today, so this feels nice in my body. And then inhale, lengthen, and we'll come all the way up. And then from here, let's go ahead and do a nice restorative back bend. So we'll use the blocks, if you have them. All right, and we're gonna do a roll back. This is tricky spacing because I wanna try and use the wall too. And I'll show you what I mean by that. You take a breath in and we start to curl the spine back. You can use your hands if you need to. And set the block somewhere under the shoulder blade. So it's the sternum, the block is right under the sternum. You could feel that. And then this block is for support of your head. And then just reach your arms and bend the knees. And here's your back bend. See if you can take your tailbone back and lift the radial. It's this expansion of the torso here. You just let that go and then really feel your back body here as you press and breathe into it. Inhale and exhale. Notice, are your hands even? So if you're up the wall, or is one higher than the other, can you even them out? And just elevate the shoulders, roll them away from your ears, and breathe. And then from here, let's go ahead and straighten the legs. Reach up to the ceiling, take a breath in, and start to curl the spine up. And then sit up as tall as you can. And then from here, let's go ahead and come into a roll back again. So you can reach your arms. This is a nice spine stretch. You curl the spine all the way down, all the way down. And then we'll bend the knees and we'll come into a bridge pose here. So just inhale here, exhale, and lift up. You can take whatever hand variation works in your body. I like to grab here. Some people like to interlace, but make sure you're not in your neck, right? You want to make sure that the neck is long and just stay. Maybe you want to grab the mat and then slowly come down. This next one is optional. If you're feeling like you really have a lot of strength left and you want to go a little deeper and you know you'll have the support, we'll go into Urdhva Dhanurasana or upward facing bow pose, or you could just do another bridge, what we just did. We're just going to do one today, unless you want to pause the video and maybe do three. It's up to you. But let's just go ahead and we'll take the hands here. Now, when you press up into Urdhva Dhanurasana, I have another back bending video that goes into detail about this. You want to make sure that the elbows don't go too far out to the side. So here, and maybe you're just practicing the first part, which is getting up to the top of your head, but you want to try and make an even arc. So we're really using that back body to stretch the front body. So it does take a lot of strength, and it takes inner strength because you have to believe. So take a breath in and we'll exhale, lift the pelvis. And then in the next step, we'll come to the top of the head and then lift all the way up. as best you can. And just try to straighten your legs for a moment. And maybe you could walk your feet in a little bit. And you're lifting up, 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 up. I feel the back body. I feel the front body. Everything's working. Up. Keep lifting. Keep lifting. Keep lifting. And then we'll slowly come down. Curling. So even if you just got your hands here and you thought about what you were doing, that's pretty good. I'll take it. And if you wanted to pause the video and do it again, go for it, if you have the energy. But we're just gonna come into a little unwinding now. So let's go ahead and just take the feet mat width for a moment and let the knees fall to the left. Nice and easy. Let's gently tuck that left ankle and a nice little pull. Maybe your arms out to the side, you're gazing over your right shoulder. A nice release. Let the legs come back up. Let's go over to the other side. And then let the right ankle just give that knee a gentle, it's just resting on it. Just a gentle stretch. And breathe. Maybe you can gaze over your left shoulder. Let's let that come up. Let's take a moment for a gentle glute stretch, or maybe you can make it as intense as you want it. So the right ankle stays crossed over the left knee, and pull in. And just breathe. I'm using my right elbow to encourage the opening of that right knee. And it just goes deeper when I do that. And release. And we'll go to the other side, letting it come in, pulling in. Notice, can you find some release here? And slowly coming down. And let's finish with a nice twist. So with your arms out to the side, lift your hips up. Let's shift them to the left. Let the knees come up, inhale, and exhale the legs over to the right. You notice this left shoulder came up. That's okay. Just gently encourage it to roll open. So it's not rolling forward, open. And turning the right ribs to the left. I like the way it feels to have my head over to the left, but you could be straight up if that was too much. And then inhale, letting the legs come up. Let's lift the hips up, shift them to the right. Knees up, knees over to the left. Take a moment to really roll that left shoulder open. Doesn't have to be on the floor, but you're trying to reach in that direction. And then just turn your gaze, either straight up or to the right. Whatever your neck feels like it wants. And then come back. And let's just take a moment to hug in and really feel, what do we feel like from the inside and the outside? And then just let go of that outer strength. Really just go inside into your inner light. No strength, no effort, just be. You have to use your inner strength not to let your mind wander to your day. So just do that and stay here as long as you like. Pause the video, or I'm going to take you out of it. So just become aware of your breath and slowly start to move fingers and toes. And then we'll bend the knees, letting the knees come up, taking everything over to your side and pausing in a fetal position. And slowly making your way up to seated, but just taking your time, staying in this space of calm and balance. And just taking a moment to notice the effects of the practice on your body and on your mind, the balance of that inner strength
guiding us to our outer strength and how much we need, how much we really need, and coming to this place of ease. And let that resonate in everything you do. Namaste.